My long-term strategy is not something you'll see in other videos because I've designed this strategy myself. So I'll just show you my two main signals. One is called a launch signal, one is called sell signal. I call it a launch signal instead of a buy signal just because that seems to be more accurate. The launch signal that I created in this 5-year time period, it's actually only triggered 3 times. So the first launch signal was around about here on this chart. So if we just zoom in, it actually fired off twice. It fired off on the 16th of June 2015 and the 25th of June. So around about here. So it almost exactly got the bottom. The bottom was actually down here. So this was a few months later. So this is a signal that I call a launch signal. So it's not really a buy signal. Like a buy signal would have been better if it triggered here. Obviously, that was a lower price. This is a launch signal. So it triggered here. So the launch signal basically says, just get on board because we're going to the moon. So that's why I call it a launch signal instead of a buy signal. I actually didn't buy down here because I created this signal around about here in 2020. So I didn't take advantage of this. This is back-tested data. So I'll just show you the other times that my launch signal triggered. So the second time my launch signal triggered was on March 27th, 2019. So you'll see again, it wasn't the exact bottom. The exact bottom was, a fair bit lower a couple of months earlier. But again, this is a launch signal, not a buy signal. So it actually timed this, again, pretty good, this move up here. Now again, I didn't take advantage of this because I created these signals over here, but I'll show you the one that I did take advantage of. These are the first 2 times the launch signal triggered, and it triggered a 3rd time in this period, and the 3rd one is the one I took advantage of. The 3rd time my launch signal triggered was on 29th of April 2020. So you'll see again, it didn't get the exact bottom, but this isn't a buy signal, it's a launch signal. So it was a little bit slow to launch after this. It did actually take a few more months, but it did actually get a great entry price before this launch. Now I did take advantage of this one. These first 2 ones I didn't take advantage of because I hadn't created my launch and my sell signals yet. But I had created it around about here. I created it and then I took advantage of it here. So I went heavy into Bitcoin around about this price and I rode up this whole move here. So now I'll just show you my sell signals. So basically, if you catch the launch, then you just have to figure out when are you going to sell. So I created the sell signal as well. Now again, I created this myself based on my own indicators, my own algorithms. It's not really data and signals that you'll find anywhere else because I've created this myself through hundreds and hundreds of hours of detailed research. So my sell signal, the first time it triggered in this graph was on December 7th, 2017. So you'll see right here. So if you had have caught this launch signal back here, you would have exited way up here. Now again, I didn't take advantage of this. I wasn't in the crypto market at this time. I got into the crypto market here. This is when I started doing my detailed research, and this is when I took this launch signal. But anyway, this is the first sell signal here. So you see it worked out pretty well. I'll show you the second sell signal now. So the second time my sell signal triggered was on June 26, 2019. So again, you'll see if you took this launch signal here and you got out at the sell signal, you would have rode up about a 3x move here, which would have been pretty good. So again, I created these signals around about here in this period here. So I didn't take advantage of these first 2, but I created these signals and I saw how well they worked. Launch, sell, launch, sell. So then I took advantage of them here. So I took this launch signal and I'll just show you where the sell signal triggered. The 3rd time that the sell signal triggered was on January 6th, 2021. So around about right here. So I actually wrote up this entire move here based on my own indicators that I created. So I bought down in this range here and I sold right here. And because we'd made it a new high, I thought it's probably a good time to enter altcoins. So at this point right here, I went 100% into altcoins. I was 100% in Bitcoin, sold all my Bitcoin right here, and then I went 100% into altcoins. And my altcoins doubled in this period here, and then I was out of the market up here. And I watched this entire crash from the sidelines because I didn't have another launch or sell signal. So I've largely been out of the market now for this entire period here. I've done some small trades, but yeah, no major trades, no major launch or sell signal trades. So this is basically my long-term strategy for Bitcoin and the crypto market in whole. Because you can see 3 times in this 5-year period, it worked almost perfectly. if you had a bought down here, sold here, bought again here, sold here, bought again here, sold here, you would have just crushed the market. Again, I only took advantage of one of these because I created these indicators around about here. So I only took advantage of one of these so far. But I'm hoping, and I think, that these indicators that I've created myself will play out again. So I'm waiting now for the next launch signal. So if you want to know when my launch signal triggers, make sure to subscribe to this channel and I'll keep you updated. It could be any time, it could be in the next couple of months, it might take a couple of years. The previous launch signal again was April 2020. So it has been a couple of years now, so we are sort of overdue for another launch signal. So it could come in the next couple of months, but it might take a couple of years. Now again, Bitcoin did go a bit higher, but I doubled my money in altcoins. So basically I made more money than I would have if I rode Bitcoin even to the exact peak, up here or up here. I made more money because I doubled my money in altcoins from this point. So now all I'm doing is I'm waiting for my launch signal to trigger. So the reason I'm making a video of this is because if I'm right again, I want a record of it. I want a record that I made a great move next time. I do have a few other indicators that I'm working on. I'm working on a crash indicator, which is a little bit different to a sell indicator because crashes happen more often than major sells, but they aren't as major. So I'm working on a crash indicator as well, and a few other indicators. But this is the main one I'm working with at the moment, my launch signal and my sell signal. If all you do is this launch and the sell, you don't need to do anything else in crypto. You only need to buy a couple of times per decade, and you only need to sell a couple of times per decade, and you will make a fortune. You don't need to trade every little move. So basically, like if you bought here and sold here, you can forget about crypto for another year until the next launch signal comes. You don't need to worry about all this. This is just a headache here. And again, I sold here, doubled my money on altcoins, and then this is just a headache. This is just noise. There's no signal in here. There's no point trading any of this. I'm sure some people are making money in this sort of environment, but I think most people are losing money in this sort of environment. Just the same as down here, just the same as here, where you might as well just be out of the market and wait until the next obvious launch signal. That's what I'm doing anyway. So if you like the content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will keep you updated with when my signals trigger. Hopefully you can take advantage of these as well. I will keep you updated when the launch signal triggers again. Again, it could be any time in the next couple of months or next couple of years, so it might be a while. I will make some other videos on some indicators that I'm working on, more kind of short-term trading indicators to try and catch some of these moves here. But this is my main strategy. This is the long-term trading strategy. You really don't need to do anything other than this long-term strategy, but I am working on some shorter-term trading strategies to try and take a little bit advantage of these sort of moves here. So in my next couple of videos, I'll talk about some of my shorter-term trading strategies for these sort of moves here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll keep you updated with my next videos.